part 2 if you found your way here from part 1. If you haven't found your way here from part 1, go watch that one first. It's just good. Next up, one that you probably have heard of, Stone Temple Pilots, Purple. Their debut album was massive, and Purple was no less big. It's got some great songs on it. It's got some really good songs that you've heard a lot on it. It's got some unusual things on it here and there. But overall, it is the Stone Temple Pilots. And it's that, to me, that says more than I can say about them. They were a great band. The DeLeo brothers, great writers. You know, it's a shame what happened with that band, but it's a good album. They left us some good music, so go listen to that. Here's another one I bet you haven't listened to. Alice Cooper, The Last Temptation. I think a lot of people from about 76 or so stopped listening to Alice Cooper because I'm 18, elected, all that stuff was in the past, and the new stuff just didn't sound the same. I get it. I've been an Alice Cooper fan for a long time, and some of his stuff is a little campy. I get it. This album, The Last Temptation, is a concept album that follows the character from Welcome to My Nightmare. And he's co-written songs on this album with there's at least 2 with Chris Cornell from Soundgarden. There's 2 with dang, I've forgotten who it was now. Oh, Tommy Shaw and Jack Blades. 2 or 3 with one and 2 or 3 with the other, whichever it is. It's a total of 5 songs that are co-written by those guys. This album has got some great stuff on it, especially those songs that he wrote with Chris Cornell. But his voice sounds great on this album. It's not very campy for the most part, the way some of his stuff could be. There's a lot of Alice singing on this album instead of Alice the character singing on this album, if you know what I mean. There's a lot of pure vocals instead of welcome to my, that growly kind of thing that he did. It's good stuff. Give it a listen. Probably never heard it. Some of you may not have heard of this album. Some of you may have. Jeff Buckley, Grace, is the only album that the guy ever put out. He drowned tragically not too long after this. This is widely regarded as one of the great albums of all time. It's got the song Hallelujah on it, the Leonard Cohen song. It's worth a listen. It's not something I return to often, but it is a good album. Tesla put out Bust a Nut this year. It's got some good stuff on it, some good hard rocking stuff on it. They hadn't collapsed as a band at this point, which they did not too terribly long after that. They had all kinds of problems, but this album, they were still rocking pretty hard. Here's another one you might not have heard of. Widespread Panic, Ain't Life Grand. This was their 5th album, I believe. It's got Airplane on it. It's got Fish Water. It's got a bunch of stuff that they play continuously in concert from this point forward. It's a classic Widespread Panic album. Get that out. And if you've never really gotten into Widespread Panic, it might not be for you, but it might be. And if it is, thank me later. Alright, next up we got Eric Clapton, From the Cradle. This was the album when Eric Clapton went, oh yeah, I really like the blues. I think I'll do some of that. This was an album with nothing but cover songs, all blues cover songs. And it's really that album that turned his career from Tears in Heaven and poppy sounding rock, which he had been in for a little while, back to the blues. This was a return to the music that he loved, and there's some good stuff on it. Yeah, I mean, it's Clapton, it's blues. It's really hard to mess that up. Next up, we got Blues Traveler with an album called Four. You might think that's their fourth album. I think you would be correct in that. This is the one that had all the hits on it. Run Around. I don't know, there's 3 or 4 pretty big hits on this album. Blues Traveler. Great band. Great harmonica player, harp player. Very unique style. Not something that I can always return to, but when I hear it, it's like, yeah, I remember why I liked this band a lot. They were really good. Next up, we have the second album from Dream Theater, which became one of my favorite bands. Still is. The album's called Awake. It's got some really good stuff on it. All these albums have really good stuff on it. I keep saying that over and over. This was early Dream Theater. Before Jordan Rudess was in the band. They were still young, lean. They were putting out some pretty rocking stuff at this point. And they got much better in a few years to follow, but they were still doing pretty well at this point. Yeah, Dream Theater, Awake. Next up, we have another album from a band that had put 3 really good albums in a row out. Really good albums. 2 of them, one of them was mind-blowing. One of them was an incredible hit-making machine. And the other one is probably goes underneath a lot of people's radar. It's the one that set those 2 up. This one is called Promised Land. It's by Queensryche, and they still had the core unit of this band. Actually, they still had all 5 members from the Silent Lucidity years and Operation Mindcrime and all that. They were still putting out some good music. They put another 2 or 3 albums out that were really good. This one's good. It's good Queensryche. Here's another one if you haven't heard it, and you probably haven't. If you like the kind of music that I've heard you say you like over and over on my channel, pretty much rock and that kind of stuff, you probably haven't heard this album. You probably should go listen to it. It's Joni Mitchell's Turbulent Indigo. I don't have much to say about Joni Mitchell other than she's a genius. She writes great songs. She plays incredible guitar, writes incredible music. She's unique. She draws a wonderful array of talented musicians around her to complement and supplement her musical ideas and stuff like that. It's just really good stuff. All right. So yeah, go give Turbulent Indigo a spin. She has started toward the downhill side of her career at this point. She was incredibly active in the 70s and at least into the early 80s, early mid-80s. She put out some wonderful stuff. She didn't put out too much after this. She did put out further albums, but not a lot. But this is a good one. It's got some good stuff on it. Next up was another very, very highly anticipated album for me. There's two of these last 3 were very highly anticipated albums. This one didn't let me down. I thought this was just a step below the album that came before it. And the album that came before it is one of my favorite albums of all time. I'm talking about the Black Crowes, and this one is Amorica. Great songs on it. Mark Ford was still in the band. They were still not killing each other on stage at this point, I guess. I saw them right after this album came out in Nashville, and they were still just killing it live. But Amorica, it's got some great songs on it. It's a great follow-up to Southern Harmony and the Musical Companion. Next album on the list by date released is Tom Petty. Not Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, just Tom Petty with all of the Heartbreakers, but only credited to Tom Petty. Wildflowers. This album was supposed to be, or he wanted it to be, a 25-song double album. The record company said, "Oh, no, we're not giving you that kind of money. Cut 10 of those songs off and we'll put out a 15-song album." So he did. And then quite a few years later, there were numerous releases of things relating to Wildflowers. So we finally got to hear everything he did for that album, all the unreleased songs, all the outtakes, all the live versions, various versions and things like that. This album is just from top to bottom. I mean, all the other stuff that didn't make it on the album is great. So when you cut 25 songs down to 15 songs, those 15 songs are going to be killer. It just stands to reason. And they are. It's a great album. Great album. Next up is Pearl Jam's Vitalogy. I really was looking forward to this album coming out. And it came out and I liked it, but it wasn't like their earlier stuff, which is fine. I enjoy bands that morph and grow and change and stuff like that. Vitalogy was a little bit different than the ones that came before and after it. I really like it. Those are the 28 albums that I think are my favorite albums from this year. And to knock that down to my favorite album that came out this year, I'll just say I have a really hard time not picking any of these albums. Soundgarden, Super Unknown, Allman Brothers Band, Where It All Begins, Seal, Stone Temple Pilots, Dream Theater, Queensryche, Joni Mitchell, Black Crowes, Tom Petty, and Pearl Jam. All those albums are just fantastic albums for me. I can go back to any of those I just listed anytime and listen to them over and over again. I think the thing that makes this one my favorite album is the emotional connection that I have to it, that I had to it at the time, that never went away. This always stayed with me. And then when he died, it just got stronger and stronger. And that's Tom Petty, Wildflowers. Just, I mean, how can you look at 1994 with all the albums on that list, including that one, Wildflowers, and think that no good music was still coming out at that point? That is a stellar year for music. One of the better years of music since the 70s, in my opinion. Just a really good year for music. And like I said, I didn't list everything. Obviously, I couldn't list everything. But there's probably at least another dozen or two albums from that year that came out that I've enjoyed on and off over the years that are great music that there's probably some that you love that I didn't list. I know there are. But anyway, there we go. Tom Petty, Wildflowers, 1994, my favorite album from that year. This will be in a playlist if you stuck around this far, with all the other ones from 1967 up to this point. I'm going to try to keep doing these more regularly going forward. Hopefully I can stick with that. Until then, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you around.